Very different from histograms is the idea of pie graphs. The idea of a pie graph is we divide a circle into regions that reflect the relative frequencies of the data. And so we notice that constructing the pie graph is relatively straightforward. All we have to do is first determine relative frequency, determine the relative frequencies, and then multiply each relative frequency by 360 degrees to get the appropriate portion of a circle. So we notice that if we were given class of, say, we could call it ages, say ages 10 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, and 41 to 50. And we were looking at frequencies. So we could say the frequency is, let's make it things that are relatively nice. So you can do 15. Do I do 15? Sure. 15, 30, 90, and let's try 65. Whoops, too big. 45. Yeah, that's better. So we've got frequencies of 15, 30, 90, and 45. Those add up to 180. And so we notice that we can get relative frequency so we'll just leave it in a basic unsimplified fractional format, which we notice is convenient in this case because we're going to multiply that by that relative frequency times 360 degrees. We're going to get 15 1/80ths times 360 equals 30 degrees. If we take 30 180ths times 360, we're going to get 60 degrees. 90 180ths times 360 is going to give us 90 degrees. Nope, 180 degrees. You have to be careful. 180 degrees. That's better. And then if we take 45 180ths times 360, we're going to get 90 degrees. And so we notice that these are relatively nice to chart on a pie graph. We notice now we're just going to be looking at, we notice that, let's just start with the 41 to 50-year-olds. We notice that's going to be 1/4. we know the 31 to 40-year-olds is going to be half. And then we notice that we have to divide up the 21 to 30-year-olds is going to be essentially 1/6. And then the 10 to 20-year-olds is 1/12. So we notice relatively straightforward to construct that. So we notice pie charts are just a different way of displaying the data from a frequency histogram. And this winds up being a little bit easier to tell which group is going to have the largest percentage. A method we'll talk about briefly, we're certainly not going to have any exam questions on it. You may have one or two homework questions on it, is the idea of a Pareto graph. Your book mentions it. I've never actually seen it used anywhere. Just so you're aware of it, it's really just a histogram with classes arranged from greatest to least. So from greatest to least frequency. So just to see a quick example of that, if we said something like dessert preferences, we might make a chart where the class might be chocolate, ice cream, candy corn, and let's just pick a fourth one, Jello. We might wind up having the frequencies are maybe 30, 45, 7, and 19. And so you notice they're not in any particular order. And so what we would do for our Pareto graph is we would put them in order of, we can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We basically notice that we're going to put our first category, our first class is going to be ice cream. And then we're going to have chocolate. Then we'll have Jello. Then we'll have candy corn. And we're going to indicate ice cream shows up with frequency of 45. And then chocolate shows up 30 times. Jello 19 times. And candy corn 7 times. And so the only real advantage of the Pareto graph is it immediately shows you which class shows up most often, which shows up least often.